Good day, Bearskin enjoyers. I tried to record this earlier. I was on stream. It did not go well. For some strange reason, I just felt incredibly tired. So, if you don't watch this idiot try his best to just do this 48-hour analysis, by all means, watch that sleep-deprived yapping, gets nowhere stream right there. It's ridiculous. I don't know what came over me. I thought I was getting like a fever or something. Anyway, what are we here for? Well, as you can see here, this is the Christmas Week 1 Rustore for 2025, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and try and figure out how much are each of these skins likely to sell by next Thursday. We'll look at previous Rustores, we'll look at the skins, we'll see how much they sold, and then how much they did end up selling, you know. It kind of gives us a good idea in regards to how much all of these skins could likely sell up to, alright? So, sit back and relax, let's get started. So the first 24 hours of sales. The Santa's Bearskin Rug, to my surprise, it's the top selling skin. Now, I'm sure many of you are fully well aware there's been a lot of hype behind the Tier 3 and the sheet metal double door. But one thing I completely neglected to point out is that this glows in the dark. I did showcase it, but I didn't really make that much of an emphasis about it. Also special Hedge. Well, that's like the most affordable and approachable bearskin rug that glows in the dark. Oh, it's $1.49. Oh, so a lot of people like to put that there on the ceilings, on their walls. Yeah, it's useful. It's a nice potential utility thing. Also, it does look pretty cool. It looks pretty okay. So, yeah, didn't even consider that. Someone mentioned it on YouTube, so thank you very much for that. And, well, if you know, you know. So, cool. Right then, so, yeah, that's the top selling skin. It's not even abnormal. But, of course, the very first thing I brought up when I looked at all the Christmas skins was I warned everybody, by default, everything is expected to go down in price. With these holiday theme skins, it's inevitable. We mentioned it with Halloween, but with Christmas, Christmas tends to still be quite reliable as long-term investments. So let me clarify. With this brand new Rustore, it is expected that all of these are going to go down in price and inevitably reach a low point around March or April time. You can either approach these with a lowball buy order or wait until March or April time, try and pick up as much as you can, because from then, it's the slow walk towards the end of the year in anticipation for Christmas all over again. I'm not joking. These won't be profitable over the course of like the next several months, but then as we get closer and closer to Christmas 2026, that is when we'll see all the nice profit. That is exactly what happened with last year's Christmas skins. I approached it like I've always approached it, and I've walked away with some sweet, delicious looking profit. So, alright, cool. So, don't be surprised if all of these just go down in price. But these skins in particular, oh, maybe they might be different. So, North Star Tier 3. This is mostly white. It's quite shiny. It has hints of blue, but to be honest with you, at $2 each, it's considerably cheaper compared to Whiteout Tier 3. Now, of course, Tier 3 in the snow, drink some tea, right? But, yeah, a lot of people have given it some praise. A lot of people happen to like it. I've put some short videos out. People be liking them. So, all right. It's opened the door for some nice budget whiteout options, all right? Which is quite convenient because earlier this year we had Temple Tier 3, which, you know, it's a lot more approachable for some nice green camouflage. Affordable as well. So, yes, all right, North Star, not too bad. Whiteout is better. I should point that out. But that is significantly cheaper. So, all right, cool. That gingerbread sheet metal double door. With the arrival of that, the bombshell sheet metal double door has gone down in price. And as you would know, if you watch the rust rotation video right here, no, it's over here. Yeah, that bombshell sheet metal double door, that was selling at $12. It's not anymore. It's going down. Only slightly though, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back up again. Case in point, yeah. I might have to start sending some skins early because I want to go grab a bunch of them. As I just said, these gimmicky Christmas skins, they're expected to all go down in price, aren't they? But with the pay-to-win aspect of this, with its glow-in-the-dark and its insane windows of transparency, could we potentially see this just stay in the positive? Just work out perfectly. Holiday-themed sheet metal double doors of the past have struggled before. But when it came to the Christmas one last year, that's gone up in price ever so nice. But that did have to wait until Christmas time for it to go up in price. But that has the extra gimmick of the transparency. You can see through it. A lot of people do like that. And the only other sheet metal double door that compares to it equally would be the Blizzard ID Twitch drop. I know a lot of people are asking about the recent one that came out, the black one, you know what I'm on about? I forgot the name, sorry about that. That isn't as good. So, yeah, that's special. $2.49, much cheaper in comparison to the Bombshell Sheet Metal Double Door, which was $12. So, how have these free skins here sold less than that? I'm surprised. I'm genuinely surprised to see that these haven't sold that much. So, I'm sorry it was a bit slow to get to the point, but I really must emphasize that I'm incredibly surprised to see they haven't sold that much. All right? And then all the other skins, they're fine, but all of these other ones here, inevitably, they are 100% more likely to be struggling over the course of the next several weeks. But these right here, it feels like it's a different story. So, all right, cool, fair enough. How's it look then after the first 48 hours of sales? Well, it's a lot later since then. So I do have a screenshot. Just want to point out Santa's Bearskin Rug, just over 17,000 subscribers. North Star Face Mask, just over 15,000. Gingerbread Sheepman at Double Door, 14,000. Chestplate is quite... There's a bit of a distance between these two pieces here. But yeah, just under 13,000. And then get a good look at all the other skins. Pause the video if you so wish. Because now I'm going to go over to here and look at how it looks at the moment. So yeah. A good few hours later, we've only seen a bit of a difference. Let's just confirm we're definitely up to date. So, oh yeah, no, we're off. We're off by a fair bit. So let's just quickly refresh. Are we definitely up to date? There we go. Oh. Right then. So, sales are progressing quite nicely. No complaints here. What are all of these skins likely going to sell by next Thursday then? Let's get started. Santa's Bearskin Rug. I've rolled with some expectations. I've looked around and I found out that this is quite funny. As you'll see over to here, so let's just quickly bring this up. This did 12,757 subscribers after the first 24 hours of sales. I thought maybe we could compare to the No Mercy Snow Jacket, which after 24 hours did 12,757 subscribers, the exact same amount. Now, if you can remember from 2 weeks ago, we obviously talked about this Rust store. And, well, let's just go see how it's currently holding up, because that Snow Jacket's actually doing quite all right to a point. Sold a lot. It's down a fair bit. But that did do 31,000 subscribers. When I did the 48-hour analysis for this Rust store, I thought that was going to do between 28 to 33,000 subscribers. I think what I'm going to do is do the exact same thing again for this. Now, in regards to what we have here, I do believe this Bearskin Rug will be going down in price. As we've already addressed, it's a very gimmicky Christmas design. However, it is the most approachable and affordable glow-in-the-dark bearskin rug. But inevitably, I think it's just going to end up behaving exactly like, well, let's go ahead and show you, the gingerbread bear rug from the past. So go ahead and look at this yourself. You can see it in the Steam market. I've owned a lot of these throughout this past year, but I've been selling them now because this went up in price ever so nice. Look and see how it's behaved over the past 2 years. So it came out Christmas 2023. Instantly goes down in price, reaches a low point around March time, about 80 cents there. But eventually, as time goes on, inevitably, the anticipation for Christmas happens, and this went all the way up to $3. And it went back down again. And then, well, the exact same thing happened all over again. So, as you can clearly see, Christmas finishes, prices goes down, and at some point around March, April time, it doesn't get any lower, and it just starts to slowly go up in price. This is for new skins, this is for old skins, this is Christmas skins. So based on what I see here, technically speaking, there's competition for this now. I can't guarantee that's going to behave the exact same way it has this past 2 years, but I'll keep an eye out and see what happens now with this brand new one. I do believe something very similar will be happening with that. Is it going to be a profit? Yes, if you do a lowball buy order. How low can it go? I don't know. But what does depend is how many sales does it have. If it goes beyond 33,000 subscribers, okay, that might be a bit problematic. If it ends up selling less, okay, maybe it won't be so bad, but it's still inevitably going to go down in price. Alright then, so we'll leave it at that. It's a perfectly fine looking design, but yeah, it can't. I don't think that'll be evading the dreaded drops with Christmas skins. North Star Tier 3. So if I could just quickly remind you, back over to here, I've put out some short videos showcasing this. I put an effort in to showcase this in the rust rotation video. Again, everything's chaptered. You can see me pairing it up with whiteout, mixing and matching, see if it compares nicely. It honestly does, especially for the price. So, in short, looking at you, Face Mask did just under 11,000 subscribers. Chestplate, you did just barely over 9,000 subscribers. and wedged in the middle we had the sheet metal double door. I'm surprised to see it didn't sell like a lot more than that, but hey, if it doesn't sell that much and as time goes on it is appreciated, all the better for it to rise up in price. So looking at this, and of course I'll be taking a look at this in a second, what can we compare with all of these? Well, I looked around, I thought, you know what, if we could just go back over to here, I thought I could do a nice comparison with the Cinder Type Fuel, Cobalt Jungle Container Garage Door, and the Heat Seeker Sat. Just over 10,000 subscribers, also just over 10,000 subscribers, and 9,700 subscribers. All right, cool. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at them. 2 weeks ago, off we go. So you might notice that the Cinder Type Fuel did drop off. The Garage Door and the SAP eclipsed it. Garage Door reached up to 25,000 subscribers, SAP did 23,500 subscribers, and the Cinder Type Fuel did just under 22,000 subscribers. Now, looking at the current progress, and I should also just refresh here as well, I'm looking at all three of these pieces here, and I think all three of them are likely going to do between 23 to 26,000 subscribers. Initially, when I first saw them, I thought, yep, they're all doing over 30,000. Nope, okay. Well, 23 and 26 is still quite a lot to a point, but it's definitely not like 30 or 40,000 subscribers, so okay, fair enough. We've got to keep an eye on this, but at the very least, all three of these are abnormal, all right? So next Wednesday, I won't be streaming because it'll be Christmas Eve and then Christmas, but I'll still put a video out. You've got to contemplate, is it actually doing a good job? You also have to be aware that we're not going to see a collection continuation. We're not going to see tier 2, a hoodie and pants, and boots and gloves until next Christmas. Keep that in your head, all right? Remember. At the moment, it's looking pretty sweet. There's a lot of hype behind it. A lot of people keep bringing it up. And you know what? If I could just quickly switch over to my Twitter again, I do believe I could quickly show you. Yeah, I've been showcasing it like so. And I've also just put out like a standard tweet with some nice comparisons. I've been retweeting a lot. I'm so sorry. There you go. That's it. A lot of people have seen this. So just a simple showcase, just to point out that you could save about $30 just by making that switch. Don't forget to drink the tea. All right. So it doesn't glow. It is a bit shiny, but it's a whole lot more approachable. So, all right then, fair enough. I think that'll be fine. We want to do those barders first, though, 100%. So, if you're considering it, I wouldn't say no to it, right? I think it's looking pretty sweet. Gingerbread sheet metal double door. The only thing that compares to it, as I said, is the Blizzard ID Twitch drop that came out 2 years ago, and if you didn't get it, well, too late, you can't get it ever again. You could consider looking at the Bombshell sheet metal double door. You might find out that, yeah, it might still be a little bit pricey. Whilst it did drop down in price a bit, it didn't go dramatically down. Competition appeared, it dropped by $1. It was a bit lower than that. It was a bit. Like, look at the recent sales, you'll see. Yeah, there you go. It was just comfortably going up. No, dead. It's not dead. But, yeah, it kind of took the wind out of its, well, lungs. I don't know. There's a euphemism there, a metaphor, but I don't know what to say. But anyway. So that appeared, this isn't so special anymore, and the gingerbread sheet metal double door has more transparency in comparison to this, all right? However, it very likely will be selling more compared to the sheet metal double door Bombshell. So, that might be a bit of a problem, but looking at what we see here, I think that's going to probably end up doing like 25,000 subscribers. Like, consider this. After we do the abnormal barders, do you reckon a lot of people are going to wait till the last second and just buy it as much as they can? As I just said, I'm contemplating, thinking about, oh, you know what, I could sell a lot of skins right now, get a lot of funds ready, and buy like 200 of them. I could do that, I could. And to be honest with you, I kind of want to. As time goes on, though, how many people have bought you already, and how much of you are going to see on the Steam market? Because, of course, other people exist, and other people will be like, I could make 2 pennies profit. I've got to unload 1,000 of them on the Steam market now. You know how it is. So, I'm curious, I'm interested, and a lot of people are aware. In fact, again, if we could quickly go back over to here, let's close this tweet. Let's look at this. Oh, no, sorry. There we are. Perfect. That's what I want to showcase. That's the Blizzard ID sheet metal double door. Can't get any more, though. Lots of transparency, a reasonable amount of transparency. All three of them glow in the dark as well. So to get a good look at that, please consider watching my rust rotation video. Again, it's all chaptered. Skip ahead to where I do the showcase and comparisons with the doors, and you can tell me which one happens to be my favourite. So, all right then, I'm feeling pretty confident with that. I think it's got a pretty, like, an interesting future ahead of it. The question is, though, will people treat it like a Christmas skin and neglect it? will people treat it like a pay-to-win skin and appreciate it? Here's hoping for the latter, especially if we're going to invest into it, all right? I think it could be working out all right. The glow is very bright. The transparency is pretty cool. It's a lovely approach. Props to the skin creator, and, well, we're going to wait until next year until we see another one. All right, well, still, it should be right. Sheet metal double doors, as of recent, have been holding up very, very nicely. So if I could just quickly switch over to here, take a look at all of these recent skins. The Halloween gimmick one is down in price. We're not surprised by that. That's down a fair bit. That's down a fair bit. But you're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good. All of you are doing good except the Halloween gimmick ones. And the Christmas one from last year, that doubled in price. It was actually much higher than that. But it's kind of like dropped back a bit. So sheet metal double doors, they look to be reliable. And that looks to be very reliable. Next up, let's talk about the Igloo Furnace, the Naughty List Rug, and the Starry Santa's Sleigh Small Box. So, yeah, you've got a decent amount of sales at the moment. But what are we going to compare to? So 7,500, 7,400, 7,300. What would I like to compare to? I thought, you know what? We should compare to the Dungeon Armored Double Door, Grinning Area Armored Door, and Neon Bismuth Locker. 7,700, 7,300, 6,800. Let's go. So back again to 2 weeks ago, and what do we see? 17,500, 17,100, 15,400. So based on what we see all of here, I think these three skins are going to do between 15.5 to 17.5 thousand subscribers, which is fine. I'm not going to be upset with that. Igloo Furnace. I've looked at many interesting Christmas furnaces of the past, and don't forget we did get one for absolutely free. A very nice looking Twitch drop. But look at the Ice Vortex. That isn't exactly doing super great at the moment. It's unfortunate, but yeah, you've got to acknowledge that. We've had quite a lot of interesting Christmas furnaces in the past. Oh, wait, am I? Oh, 6 there. Uh-oh, I better remove one. Oh, no. So one of them was too high in price. All right, let's remove that. There you go. Should only have 5. Anyway, look at its sales history. It hasn't really gotten anywhere. That came out last year. Dropped down in price pretty quickly, of course. And, well, it only went up by a little bit. It didn't seem to work out very nicely. Scroll. Wrapped Furnace, that's dramatically down in price. In the past, we've also had, Snowman Furnace. Although, with this being out for a fairly long time, let me remind you that whilst it's looking pretty good at the moment, it's had a bit of a funny history. You go up and go down, you go up and go down, you go up a bit and then go down. Barely anything last year, and then this year, so much better. Not everything is going to be perfect, right? Sorry to say, but it's the truth. If I could just scroll down a little bit more, you've got like Silent Night, you've got some very nice looking skins from the past. It's just, this right here, to be honest, it doesn't look like a super gimmicky Christmas skin. It kind of looks more like a winter themed skin. But then again, winter, Christmas, and then you're going to sit there and say, but in my country, it's not winter. Shut up. Anyway, it's associated with snow. Come on now. Anyway, it's actually got Happy New Year on it. Will you independently work out nicely? Do you know what we need? It wouldn't be too bad of an idea if we had, no, because then again, people moan, but like a stone, like a snow sort of stone house. So it's as if it's like made out of like ice blocks and snow and whatnot, and then that pair up incredibly nicely. Igloo, stone. But then again, it would be easy to hide in the snow biome. So people would complain, they would. But anyway, $2.49. That's pretty pricey. I'm having doubts, but I don't think it's going to sell too ridiculously. I do believe that one's more likely to reach 17.5 thousand subscribers at the moment. But I'm not 100% confident with furnaces. Just take one quick look over to here. And with that being technically a Christmas theme skin, I mean, I do worry for it. I don't feel that confident. So, all right, we'll leave it at that. Naughty List Rug, a very funny, silly Alistair theme skin. So, yep, there's Alistair. And he knows when you've been cheating. But a lot of people right now, a lot of people would be very upset reading that. There's a lot of, like, there's a pretty vocal amount of people that are really upset with the amount of cheaters and whatnot. And it is unfortunate. I do acknowledge that. At some point, hopefully there's like a big ban wave happening again. He's hoping. But they can't reveal any details of what they're up to and whatnot. They can't let the people who build the cheats get any information in regards to how they're going to strategize and whatnot. It's unfortunate that they have to be quiet about it, but yeah. So I kind of get the feeling people would be more upset with that than appreciate it. Hopefully next year we get like everybody banned and then everybody will. Now, the best thing to compare to probably would be the gingerbread rug from last year. So here we go. Take a look at this. This sold for $1.49. Went down in price pretty quickly immediately, as you'll see right here. Yeah, went all the way down to about 80 cents. But then after that, after March, slowly rises up in price. It actually peaked quite some time back. Christmas skins can be a bit weird. They can peak during the first week of December, just before December, the first rust of December. It's odd. It is. So based on what I see there, I kind of get the feeling that we'll see that, only actually doing a good job, sticking with its price when it's December 2026. All right. So how low we go in terms of a buy order at the moment, I don't know, but I don't think it'll be that bad. It's not selling ridiculously, and as I said, 15.5 to 17.5. That'll more likely be like 15 or so. We'll see. It's a perfectly fine Christmas themed skin. It's just a bit too silly, isn't it? So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Starry Santa Sleigh. There is an interesting detail of this, and after you've watched this video, right, go look at my shorts right now. I've got 2 videos showcasing the Starry Santa Sleigh small box. One's just like a nice showcase, just to point out that looks like an awesome decoration. It glows very nicely, very creative approach, but it's also got transparency on the top, and quite a bit. And this is where Hedge reminds everybody that there's a certain, work crate, small box with lots of transparency, and a lot of people have been appreciating how you can hide it in rocks. I can confirm to you, Starry Sleigh does a very good job of it as well. Work crate currently costs about $4, and I wouldn't be surprised if it rises up in price even higher. Starry Sleigh might potentially be treated as a skin like this. Would you sit here and call it an exploit? I mean, in this particular game's terms, I mean, yeah, you shouldn't be putting anything inside a rock, and who knows if there's an actual box there, So basically, I wouldn't be surprised if that does slowly start to be appreciated, purely based on its design, but also due to that specific detail as well. But you never know, Face Punch might realise about that and fix it. We'll see. So, yeah, keep an eye out for those short videos where we showcase it. I'm incredibly impressed with what we've seen here. And I wonder if we still see another small box, because there's some other cool creative designs. But at $2.49, with its like Christmassy approach, I'm still unsure to a point if it's actually going to be like an instant sort of profit. I think with that, it will be going below its rust price. But I could see that being one of the most notable skins to rise up in price quite nicely in anticipation to next year's Christmas. So I've put out a lot of details and information there in regards to that skin. Let's see what happens next. I'm conflicted if people are going to even notice. We'll see. Christmas wooden door. Possessed gingerbread satchel charge and gingerbread tactical gloves. So with this, wooden doors in general, I don't trust them. No, you just got to take a look at that and you're going to be like, oh, okay, fair enough. Satchel charges are kind of similar. People don't appreciate skinning something that explodes like 10 seconds later. What was the point in doing that? Why put the effort in? You might be fooled by the prices you see here, but that's due to the scarcity of new acceptances. If we keep seeing more and more of them, these will go down in price. Yeah, I expect that to happen. And then the fourth ever tactical gloves to be accepted. But that's the brand new skinnable. There's issues there, and we'll elaborate more in a second. But first of all, let's hop out of here, and then, what are we going to compare to? 5,500 subscribers, 5,100, and just over 5,000. I thought, you know what? We could probably just go to the previous week and compare to the porcelain sheet metal double door and the training snow jacket. 5,600, just over 5,000. All right, sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and find out. So, just under 14,000 subscribers and just over 13,000 subscribers. Now, I kind of thought that was a little bit too low. Last week's skins, I was kind of surprised how little that porcelain sheet metal double door sold. There's a reason why I bought 30 of them. So I thought, you know what? Let's also go ahead and showcase, Senor Tomato Furnace. So, harping back over to here, let's just go back to the end of November, and that did 15,300 subscribers. So, after looking at all of that, I think, you know what? The wooden door, the satchel charge, and the tactical gloves, you're going to probably do between 13 to 15,000 subscribers. That's my estimate, my expectation. But people don't seem to appreciate wooden doors, and with that being a Christmassy theme one, I honestly would not be surprised in the slightest if it does drop off. But I do believe that's the first ever glow-in-the-dark wooden door. Keep an eye on it. I wouldn't be surprised if people still appreciate it next Christmas. Keep an eye out. Possessed gingerbread satchel charge. I've already explained myself. With the recent skins, when these were being accepted, they were all down in price real bad. Like this one right here. But again, after about like 18 months without a satchel charge, all of it went up in price because people were looking for options. Then that appeared. These didn't change that much, but that did. That's all for $2, and it's basically gone down by half its price. That is unfortunate. So with you, again, I mean, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it goes down by half its price as well. Feels like inevitability. Sorry to say, again, with it also being a Christmas theme skin, I don't think it's going to be able to survive. Gingerbread tactical gloves, though. Let's just quickly point out that we've had a few skins already. So, of course, we had the first ever skins right here last week. Then H-June skin for absolutely free. And now we've got you. I was surprised to see that this was the one that was accepted. I've already mentioned it. But this was the pair of gloves I was expecting. Now, you might just sit there and say, Hedge, you're only saying that because you wanted to make profit. True, but again, I'm surprised because wouldn't you think that if they picked out the Mr. Gingerbread tactical gloves and boots, there'd be a lot more interest and a lot more people happy because then we'd have a complete Christmas collection. But it didn't happen, or didn't happen yet. What's going on next week? Christmas week 2. Could we see these being accepted? I hope so. It might be a situation of they don't accept the boots and just the gloves. We'll see what happens. But that would definitely be appreciating it. If we get either of these, it'll be good. So we'll see what happens. But next week, I mean, it's going to be Christmas. And then a day after that, it's not Christmas. Although I will ask you, do you treat Christmas like Christmas Day up to New Year's Day? Do you just kind of treat it all Christmas? Or do you kind of treat it differently, just Christmas? I mean, feel free to comment below your thoughts in regards to that. But gingerbread tactical gloves, based on what I've seen with all the previous skinnables, so beds. In about 3 months, we've seen 20 beds, which is ridiculous. And next week, I won't be surprised if we see another one. And then, of course, handmade NMGs. That's started to pick up the pace recently. Lots of skins being accepted suddenly. Twitch drops. 2 skins accepted last week. Another one this week. I mean, I'm getting a bit worried. And then, of course, inevitably, I can't help but assume tactical gloves will just keep getting more and more skins being made. There's a lot of collections out there that are fully complete. But now that this has appeared, you know, the skin creators are going to probably think to themselves, oh, I should probably go ahead and make some tactical gloves. And they're there. I've seen No Mercy. I've seen Whiteout. I've seen, like, Training Collection. They're all there. I get the feeling you're going to struggle, which is unfortunate. And at $2, uh-oh. I feel like that's a recipe for disaster. It does smell nice, though. So we'll leave it at that, then. Evil Snowman M249. So, yeah, I've already talked about how M249s, they aren't exactly, they're not exactly in demand, it seems. The vast majority of all these skins are down in price pretty badly. But you in particular, you are part of a collection, which does look quite nice. It's not perfect, and it's a weapon-only collection. So let's hop back over to here. I look at you and I question, with the first 24 hours of sales, you had 4,400 subscribers. What would be a nice thing to compare to? Well, Black Ops bed and Pirate bed. 4,500, 4,200. Well, let's go ahead. Take a look at the previous week then. Let's go ahead and do just that. And you'll see for yourself the Black Ops bed did just barely over 10,000 subscribers. And the Pirate bed here did just under 10,000 subscribers. So looking at both of these, questioning if this, if this M249 is actually going to have any interest as time goes on, I've decided that that's likely going to do between 9 to 11,000 subscribers. Is that a lot? No, not really. But then again, look at all these other M249s. Let's just quickly compare. Highest subscriber, please. Wow, okay, that's quite a lot for the No Mercy. 45,000. The main point is it doesn't look like the M249's getting a lot. The skins aren't getting any love. And it might be due to the fact that people just aren't using the weapon itself that much. Where's the justification to own skins if you don't use the weapon that much? Well, there you go. So, yeah, that might be a bit of a problem. It's unfortunate, but yeah, that might just be a 60 cent to 80 cent barter. And the real kicker, if you just go back to the past, you'll see that we had a previous Christmas M249. Holiday Spirit LMG. Take a look at it and you'll see, over the past like several years, it's hardly changed. It's barely moved. So no, I don't think M249s are going to work out. And that one in particular, new Christmas snow jacket and crunchy bed. So yeah, both of these together. What could we expect? So let's just quickly switch back over to here. You did 4,300. You did 3,500, 600, I think. What are we going to compare to? Ladybug Tier 2. So back 2 weeks, there you go. Roadside Kilt 4,000, Vest 3,800. I thought, yeah, that'll probably work out quite nicely. So let's go back about 2 weeks, back to that Complete the Sets Rush store. I can confirm Ladybug Tier 2 only did about, what, 9 to 10,000 subscribers? 9,500, 9,500, 9,800. Well, you know what? 9 to 10,000 is what I'll do. Right then, so looking at the jacket, I question what's going to happen next. Last week, I made a bit of a mistake earlier. I said, oh, that's doing good. I thought I was talking about the training jacket. So if you thought my choice of words there was a bit odd, yeah, I made a mistake. That sold a little bit too much. It's could probably take a while for it to be appreciated. This right here sold a perfect amount in comparison to its complete set. So tier 2, tier 3, you get the idea. That is looking to be in a much, much better position. This right here very likely will be selling even less compared to this. It is currently the go-to Santa option, but how many people are even going to care? Maybe role players would, true, but we still have this issue of, are you actually going through the effort to skin your snow jackets, and are you actively getting snow jackets? Yeah, that's a bit of a problem then, isn't it? Yep. But also, with that being the focused item of the month, we are anticipating another one being accepted next week, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's the elf one. We'll see what happens. So, yeah, we'll see. Again, like Christmassy gimmick skin, it's going to very likely go down in price regardless. But as time goes on, keep an eye on this. I think that will work out quite nicely. Do bear in mind, quite some time back, 2 years ago, we had Santa's coat being accepted. That's a standard jacket, just to clarify. You're going to see, I have 149 of them apparently, but yeah, that did about 30,000 subscribers. There's a lot of interest and a lot of demand, but there's also a lot of it. So if I go ahead and show you its sales history, you might see something similar with our brand new snow jacket, but then again, it looks like the snow jacket is going to sell about 3 times less. So maybe it will be different. But yeah, just look and see. Drops off, does rise up, drops off, does rise up, rises up because Christmas, drops off because it's not Christmas, rises up again because Christmas. All right? So can we see something similar to that? I'll wait and see. But it's a possibility, all right? So, right, cool. We'll see how that turns out. Crunchy bed, I'm going to sit here and say this. I can't help but assume we'll see another bed being accepted next week. And the real question is, how many beds are we going to see being accepted in 2026? I made a big fuss about the backpacks from last year when they first became skinnable. We just kept seeing backpack after backpack after backpack after backpack. Not too many of them are up in price at the moment, are they? No. I can't help but assume the same is going to happen with our beds. If we keep seeing more and more and more and more, well, it's going to be a struggle for these to stand out. It's going to be a struggle for them to maintain their price. Only a few of them are currently in the positive. The rest, not so much. I do believe we'll see another one. But as time goes on, I wouldn't be surprised if this gingerbread theme skin does work out quite nicely. And yes, it does glow in the dark. So, with you, $2.49. But then again, like, you know, probably only going to do probably up to about 9 to 10,000 subscribers. I think that'll be fine. Will it go below its roster price? I do believe so. Is it going to crash and burn? I don't think so. Could it be a nice investment for next year? I would like to see so. But you also have to take this into consideration. Right now, everybody has the gingerbread building skin for absolutely free. I think that blends in quite nicely with it. What do you reckon? So, all right, cool. Got to keep an eye on them though. Ginger Farmer Tools and the Elven Made Handmade LMG. So if I could just quickly switch over to here, I just want to quickly point out I don't have any faith in tools, and I'll showcase it to you in a second. But yeah, here we are. 3,100 and 3,000 and a bit. Okay. So these two, just take a look at all the hatchets. You'll realise pretty much every single one of them is going to half in price because, well, people just don't seem to care enough. Some of them do seem to stand out quite a bit. Some of them are being manipulated, but the vast majority down real bad. So it's not looking very pretty there. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. But what about the pickaxes? It's pretty much the same thing. All of these, on average, most of them have sold for like $2. They're all down to $1 and less. That's not a good thing to see, is it? No. But with these designs, could they potentially go lower because they're Christmas themed skins? That I don't know. I'm looking at these, right? So let's go back over to here. I'm looking at the tools. I was looking for something to compare to, and I thought, you know what? Tortoise Rock and the chest plate here, that's probably a great example. let's go ahead and see how they're currently holding up. So over to here. Can confirm the Tortoise Rock, just under 8,000 subscribers. And then a chest plate, just about 7,700 subscribers. So it's not really that much. But yeah, for the tools, I still expect there to be problems. So, yep. But the Elven-made handmade NMG, if this were to do between 7,000 to 8,000 subscribers, could that potentially be a bit odd? Why would it be odd? Have you seen its aim sight? It has a transparent aim sight. Not too long ago, like a couple of weeks back, we saw the Blackout handmade NMG being accepted, and there was quite a big fuss because, of course, that was the first ever transparent aim sight on the handmade NMG, and a lot of people do not like using the handmade NMG because of the aim sight, apparently. I've heard words. But that, you also have a transparent aim sight. You are Christmassy, gimmicked and whatnot, quite shiny, looking pretty cool, but is it just going to get lost in the shuffle? Will people just forget it? Or do people even care about handmade NMGs? Do you? Feel free to comment below. But yeah, that does have a transparent aim sight, but it's not getting noticed. It's not getting any love. Sorry, yawn there. It's not getting any love. So that might be a bit of a problem. So we should have to wait and see what happens to you next. And then for last, Melting Snowman Water Purifier, the most purest of water. When was the last time you used a water purifier? There you go. I don't think people will be buying that en masse. But for a nice, fun, goofy decoration and whatnot, all right, $1.49, can't go wrong. But just take a look at some of these other water purifiers from the past which didn't sell that much. Yeah, they're not exactly super in demand or super valuable, are they? No. It's technically redundant. Do you desperately need to get a water purifier and how to get water to drink? Don't think so. So in regards to that, I thought, you know what? We could go ahead and compare to the JPEG pump shotgun. There you go. That had a very similar amount of sales, which we can see right here. So back over to here. You did... Where are you? I can't see it. That's because it's the wrong raster, you idiot. I need to go to bed. That only did 2,600 subscribers. But looking at the previous week, this did 2,700. So, yeah. 5,000 to 7,000 subscribers probably is going to be the best shout. Is that too much? Yeah, don't think so. I just don't think there's enough people to love it and appreciate it for the fun, goofy design that it is. So, alright, fair enough. That's a wrap then. So, don't forget, look in the description. All chapters have the estimates with them as well. So, yeah, it'll be like 28 to 33,000 subscribers. It'll be listed, it literally listed right there. So go see that for yourself, especially if you forget. Now let's just talk about some details. So I can confirm a lot of people were playing Rust, and it begins. The second half of December typically has a lot more people playing because, of course, the kids are out of school. You know, people are out of education. People aren't working as much. The player count will be rising. Will we match up to last year's December where we saw 112,000? We've got to wait and see. Got to wait and see. So, all right. Positivity is happening. Have you been keeping track of all the Ruskins? Prices are improving. I mean, look at the comics hoodie here. Let's just take a quick look at you. Let's just turn on my Steam Inventory Helper extension. So that's sitting there at $14. What price were you back in the summer? Let's go ahead and find out, because I can confirm that is at a new all-time peak price. A lot of the very in-demand camouflage skins are already back up to peak prices. Now, is it the end of them? No. I still think a lot of people will be buying them, and I think they're still going to peak in price even further in January time. By all means, if you're impressed with what you see, if you need to make a sale, you could go ahead and do that. Just don't list more than 5. I know earlier I had that 6 one, but that's because I didn't realise I still had one listed at the higher price. So, right, anyway, cool. Whiteout face mask as well. That is currently sitting there at, oh, how much are you? How much are you? You're sitting there at just under $25. And if you could look and see, yeah, that's pushing up to an all-time high price as well. So if you'd like to learn more about, like, what to expect and how to approach skins when it's time to sell for post-Christmas time, I have put up a brand new Christmas video that you can see for yourself. There you go. Consider giving that a good watch. A perfectly lovely video that goes over all the details, all right? So that's for your consideration. I would also like to ask for your help. I put this video up a good week ago. I'm asking everybody, what would you consider to be the skin of the year for 2025? Now, what defines... What exactly are you looking for in terms of, like, a skin of the year, you might say, to me? I'd just sit there and say, you could appreciate it simply due to the fact that it's very artistic. You can just simply appreciate it because it gives you a nice pay-to-win aspect. You can simply like it because it probably has an anime girl on it. A nice anime girl goes door and whatnot. Haha. But just let me clarify as well. No Twitch drops, no kick drops, no skins made by Facepunch themselves, and please suggest free skins. Now, if you're going to sit there and say, for example, Temple face mask, just say Temple tier 3. Don't do Temple face mask and Temple chest plate. Just say Temple tier 3 and then have 2 other options, right? These are the rules. Please consider taking part. I will be doing a raffle. The winner gets a pair of Surgeon Scrubs, which I bought for next to nothing. Go look at the timeline sales on Surgeon Scrubs. You'll see me. But anyway, so yeah, thank you very much to everyone who contributes. We'll have a very special video set up and a website set up so you can vote for what you would like to see to be the winner. So cool. So I've got that there. That's all good. The video mentioning the work crate is called Work Crate Exploitable Transparency. You're more than welcome to go ahead and watch that yourself. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. So, all right, cool. I've pointed out everything that I wanted to, and I hope you're looking forward to finding out how much all of these skins will be selling. Christmas, typically it's usually it's a situation where I'm like, you know what, I don't feel like spending any money. I'll just stick with like lower price bilders. I'll be good. But this week, that tier 3, that cheapman at double door, oh, it's different this year. So we'll see what becomes of all of it. Feel free to comment below your own thoughts if you have any questions and issues. And yeah, that appears to be a wrap. That's done. But yeah, I'm not joking. That attempt I did earlier, oh, it was awful. So if you just want to laugh at Hedge as he's struggling to stay awake as he speaks, I'm like this. Yep, blah, 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 yep, blah, blah, blah. You could go laugh at me. It's fine. But wow, that was awful. And I'm surprised I'm more awake now after about several hours later. I mean, it's weird. All right, anyway, so thank you very much for watching the video, and have a lovely, lovely weekend. Have a lovely week next week. Christmas is just around the corner. Wow, I can't wait. So catch you later. Say goodbye.